Gore readings, flesh wound horror freaks, and welcome to SLASHTOBER Part 2. We are on the road to Halloween. Very excited to get started here. I am Daniel Shine, joined by producer Todd Loya.
What's up?
Pugs Dread.
Namaste.
And Mike Kruger.
What's up, you sick motherfuckers?
So, Kruger, explain our SLASHTOBER to anybody who's not familiar, who should go back and watch SLASHTOBER Part 1, by the way, from last year, our previous tournament.
Yep. So what we do for our SLASHTOBER special, since this is the first episode, we will be reviewing 4 different slashers tonight. And then at the end of the episode, we will vote and eliminate one movie from that list, leaving us with our top 3 slashers, aka our 3 final girls. And then every episode after this, we will take that final girl list and put it head-to-head with another slasher until we get through 13 episodes in total and 16 slashers. So, Todd, why don't you tell us what were our winners from last year and what are we watching tonight?
Well, last year we had a pretty – I know I forgot, so we just got on and getting it already. We had a really strong – well, it was our best of the last one, and that was The Undertaker with Joe Spinell, the icon Joe Spinell. Girl House,
Fuck yeah.
and Nightmare, also known in the UK as Nightmare in a Damaged Brain.
Awesome.
Yeah, you know, looking at our 3 from last year, it tells a lot about us.
Yeah.
And this year, we're like Kruger said, we're gonna have 16. And our first 4 are going to be Just Before Dawn, Skinner, Edge of the Axe, and Slumber Party Massacre. Let's see who's going to make the cut tonight. So with that said, Just Before Dawn is our first one up. Dan?
Yeah, so Just Before Dawn is a 1981 slasher film from director Jeff Lieberman. And for those of you who have not seen this, 5 friends set out for a weekend camping excursion to drink, frolic, and skinny dip on an isolated piece of land most of them have inherited. One of them has inherited. Despite ominous warnings from local forest rangers, strange backwoods families, and a hollering drunken hunter claiming to have witnessed his friend's evisceration at the hands of demons, they trek further into the foliage. Of course they do. It wouldn't be a slasher if they didn't ignore all of that. So Just Before Dawn, Jeff Lieberman, of course, iconic director. This, for one thing, perhaps the gore in this one is not going to live up to a lot of the Gore Hounds standards, but this is actually much better made than a lot of slasher films. 81 was one hell of a year, though, too. I mean, my God, was that a powerhouse year. Prowler and just so many great ones came out at that time. This one's a little more kind of slasher, but also kind of like Deliverance style, backwoods survival type flick. So, again, may not appease the Gore Hounds because it's a little bit light. Having said that, though, there is a lot of suspense to be had. There is an extended cut of this. It's actually more dialogue, though, so it's not a case of like.
Yeah, they actually call the theatrical cut the unrated or uncut theatrical version because it's not missing. Neither version is missing all the gore. The extended is just dialogue, so you won't miss gore if you watch the theatrical cut. Yeah,
if you watch the extended too, you're also looking at some rougher footage. So if you've never watched this one, yes, watch the theatrical cut. A lot of pedigree behind this. Brad Fiedel went on to do the Terminator, the iconic Terminator theme down the line. We get a really good cast. George Kennedy as Roy, of course, legend. We also get Chris Lemmon, who went on to Thunder in Paradise. He did Thunder in Paradise with Hulk Hogan, sir. He is a legend.
His dad's a legend. He
was also in Wishmaster. Did his dad ever do Wishmaster? No, fuck his dad. So anyways, he is a legend by Flesh Wound standards, sir.
No, by Dan standards. Remember, the views of Dan only apply to Dan.
I'm going to say legend. Greg Henry,
That's a legend.
Yep. Body double.
Slither.
Slither.
I'd vote for him for mayor. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yep.
Yeah, Greg Henry went on to a hell of a career. I like this one quite a bit. Again, there are certain things that may be lacking. There's just a little bit of nudity, not a ton of gore. I get mixed things on the killer in this one, but I thought it was fine. It's more of a mood piece though, like I said, and that sometimes works for people, sometimes doesn't. But Kruger was just before dawn a first time watch for you, or had you seen this one before?
Yeah, this was a first time watch, and I love me some 80s slashers, so I was really excited to finally check this out. Awesome soundtrack, really set the mood for the film really well. I especially loved like that dance scene and the song playing during that. I thought it was really badass. Had me dancing too. Shit. I love the setting of the backwoods and the backwoods forest and all the tall greenery and the waterfalls and stuff. It made the slasher really atmospheric, which was a nice thing to see. And you don't get that all the time, which was really cool. The opening kill sequence got me extremely excited to watch everything unfold. And I dug watching the college kids go on the camping trip, and the characters had the 80s charm to them, so that was great. And of course, when the slashers came into play, I was about everything we got there. I love the fact that we had like these mutant backwoods twins brutally murdering all these people, and the whole family dynamic thing going on there. Very Hills Have Eyes-esque in the best possible way. And I also, the final confrontation when we get the final girl and the killer, fucking awesome ending. I can't wait to talk about that in spoilers because I wasn't expecting that shit at all. And
I'm very strong final girl too.
Well, and I'm like, holy shit! Like they just went there, and I'm like, fuck, I believe it. So yeah, and the kills were damn good. There's two I really liked a lot, but you already said it doesn't have a high body count or a lot of gore or anything like that. But I'll tell you that opening scene, pretty fucking effective. And of course, the final scene as well. So that being said, overall, really glad I finally sat down and watched this one. I think it's a great slasher. I'll definitely be revisiting it in the future, and it's definitely gonna be added to my collection because I try to get all the best slashers in there. So, and I think this is well deserving.
The kills hurt too. They may not be super graphic, but there's some genital trauma, and always effective. How about you, Pugs?
I thought I hadn't seen this before, but as I was watching, I was like, I remember some of this, so I have seen it before. I like it. I don't love it. I think some of the movies are stronger later on, but because the reason why I can't say I love it is because as I was watching it this time, I'm like, oh, I should be watching Deliverance, or I should be watching Lord of Darkness, because like that's kind of where it goes. But on this alone, I definitely think it's worth checking out. But yeah, lower your expectations if you're thinking it's going to be a gore fest, because it's not. But it's fun, and it's a breeze. Don't watch that
some
longer
Ned
cut.
Beatty action is what you wanted. You needed.
I will take Ned Beatty action. Absolutely.
Now,
Not personally.
That's necrophilia now, but
that sounds more like, you know what? I'm going to stop. Check out the movie, and I can't wait to vote on it and see where else we go from here. But how'd you like it, Todd?
It's weird. I go back and forth on this one. Like when I first saw the Shriek Show disc, I was like, eh. Over the years, subsequent viewings, I do enjoy it. I don't think it's one of the best, especially from the era it's from, but I do think it's fun. Not my favorite of the night, also, but it's definitely essential viewing for a slasher fan.
Yes,
absolutely. 81, goddamn though, too. It's
hard year.
A few years later, it might be at the top of the list.
Right. That's true.
So all right, should we go ahead and rate this one?
Yeah.
All right, so I am a 3.5. I really like this one a lot. I think it's super entertaining, well made. Certainly belongs in the golden era of slashers. Not perfect, but still good time.
I'm exactly with you, Dan. I'm a 3.5 also. I do enjoy this one.
I'm a little bit higher. I'm a 4 out of 5. I actually really love this one a lot, and can't wait to revisit it again now, knowing everything I do know, and how everything unfolds. What about you, Pugs?
I am a 3. I thought I would be a little higher, but that's not a dig at the movie. It's pretty good. I would recommend checking it out. But yeah, 3. What's next?
All right.
Cool.
What do we got up next, Dan?
Moving on to our next film, which is a 1993 slasher from director Ivan Naj, and it is Skinner. All right.
Skinner!
Ted Raimi delivers an unnerving performance as psycho drifter Dennis Skinner, who wears the flesh suits he slices from doomed prostitutes. Still in your gimmick, Dot. He falls for a lonely young housewife played by Ricky Lake, and is himself hunted by a horribly scarred survivor. An equally unhinged performance by Traci Lords. My God, this cast. Richard Schiff also co-stars in this potent sickie from veteran TV director and one-time boyfriend of Heidi Fleiss. So much going on behind the scenes with this movie. If you're old enough, you'll remember Ivan Naj with Heidi Fleiss in the news, and he was basically her pimp. He was a criminal, no longer with us, and
R.I.P.
this movie is. My God, Ted Raimi, Ricky Lake, Traci Lords. It feels like you just threw Richard Schiff. My God, who became TV royalty.
Walk into a bar.
Yeah, it's like a dart, just any actors.
I don't know if it's dart any actors, because there's 2 very obvious
the John Waters connection, but still, yeah. Ricky Lake this same year went on to do her show and become a household name. So I think a lot of people have looked at this and thought, Ricky Lake, what the hell is she doing in Skinner? And it's like, well, that was the same year. So Kruger, what did you think of Skinner? Was this another first time watch?
No, I saw this a few years back on actually Todd's recommendation, and I fucking love this movie. I think the soundtrack is fucking great. It's very 1990s, and honestly, this whole movie screams 1990s. Like, it's a total product of its time, which is awesome. Ted Raimi, I think, is fucking fantastic in this. I love his awkward performances. Our killer Dennis Skinner, and how crazy he gets towards the end of the film. It's fucking awesome. Traci Lords is also like, it's so bad it's good with her performance, because some people, the one thing I'll say about this movie is it's not going to be for everybody. If you can't sit back and laugh at some over the topness in the slasher, I don't think you're going to really enjoy this movie too much. But for me, it was perfect. I love Traci Lords' character's backstory, and how her and Skinner have that dynamic going on, where she's kind of the one that got away and is hunting him down. I've always loved that. The dialogue in this, so many amazing one-liners that just make me laugh my ass off, especially with some of Skinner's monologues, and especially in a certain scene that we get that I know Pugs is a big fan of. The story following Skinner making his way to a new town, and how us as the audience, we know how dangerous he is, and he's just interacting with people that he has to on his everyday life. Why we know that he's going out and killing hookers and skinning them alive, and some fucking pretty gory scenes. I know this movie used to be cut to shit, but I'm so happy we have the version that we have now of it, because I think the gore is actually really good. It's a little cheesy, but still way better than most things you see today, and I've always really loved it, especially when we see Skinner progressively going from just us watching him cut into somebody to all going full-blown Leatherface and wearing full meat suits. I think that is just fucking awesome. Also, The final act is the one thing in this movie that could have been maybe a little bit stronger for me. I kind of don't like how it just ends, and it feels a little rushed to get to the end. But that's really my only complaint about this. I fucking love this damn thing. The over-the-topness is fucking great, and that mixed with the bits of gore and body horror that we get just makes this a lot of fun. One of my favorite slashers from the 90s for sure.
For the line, I smells you, bitch. That might.
Well, let's start with that then. Because
yes, there is a PC warning here that there is literal blackface in this film. So, yeah.
he earned it, though. Both of them. He earned it, and that black guy had that shit coming. Fucking ass. So... how else are you going to get me to like a guy more? So he cuts women up and wears their skin. I like you. What else can you do to get me like you more? I'm going to cut that black dude up and talk like him. Like, love it.
All right, he's going to make me do it. For the audio listeners, Pugs is black, so...
he can do that. But so can Ted Raimi because he's so fucking badass.
Yes, no butt hurt comment.
Oh, 94, no one cared.
I was say early 90s, it was acceptable. But yeah,
I remember when the N-word got banned from rap songs on the radio.
Terrible. Bring it back. No, I hadn't seen this movie since I don't even fucking know how long. It had to be high school, so that was like early 2000s. I'm fairly certain it was a bootleg, but I don't know. This movie held up to even more than what I remembered liking it. It is a new favorite now that I remember it. Yeah, this is just fucking great. I highly recommend watching it. And again, this dude wears women, and he wore a black dude. I'm just so happy watching this shit. I'm like, he's really going with the accent. Fuck yeah, he is. What about you, boss?
On the all right, so I love this movie. I think it's entertaining as hell. It's a bit inept in parts for sure. Some of the makeup on Traci Lords and different things. I didn't think her performance was bad. I mean, it's a B movie.
I've seen her in better performances.
I thought the makeup looked fine.
It was okay. It was a little.
It's not fucking fantastic, but for a low budget film,
yeah, it was nothing that bothered me or anything. Ted Raimi is hilarious, more hilarious than disturbing, if I'm being honest. But it is a good performance, and you don't get a lot. I mean, Ted Raimi was always the lovable boob in most everything, whether it was Xena Warrior Princess or the Evil Dead, or or Ash versus the Evil Dead specifically, and that is what he made his career on, was playing the lovable boob,
the original fake shimp.
There you go, and so it's really cool seeing him do something different here. He did do Lunatics, a love story, so he's branched out a little bit before and done some different things. But
I love him so much.
he's hilarious, and pretty much the same guy if you meet him too, in a weird way. But
that's pretty great.
yeah, he still kind of has that sense of humor that you would expect. But I do kind of regret not having him sign something from this. I went the Evil Dead route, but in retrospect, I probably should have gotten two things, because this
not
movie
too late.
is.
I know. I'm sure you'll be able to get another opportunity.
Yeah, if I get another opportunity to meet him, I definitely will. There is some very effective and disgusting gore in this. There's not wall to wall, but the whole skin suit stuff. I mean, it's effective.
It's so awesome.
Yeah, it's nasty. He does some pretty pretty rough stuff, and a lot of people may have seen this. This was a staple, like on HBO back in the day. This used to play all the fucking time, but a lot of you may have also, the DVD was cut. I can't really remember. Yeah, there were a lot of you have seen the cut.
I wonder if that's why it never really stuck with me until today.
That DVD was so cut to shit.
Oh, it was real. And really cut. So if you're the Severin Blu-ray, a lot of you, even if you have seen this, will be seeing it for the first time. So I should say we are reviewing it in its uncut glory.
Yeah.
So depending where things end up, just keep that in mind.
If you still have that Simtar DVD, just throw it in the trash and go.
Yeah, get the Severin. The Severin actually has a lot of good special features on it too. So
yeah, and like I said, the cast. Yes, there's the John Waters connection, but still, it's just so funny.
The cast is just kind of grabbed. Yeah, it's an interesting mix.
Yeah, and I mean that as a compliment too.
Yeah, dude, it's so batshit. Like this movie, if there's anything I can describe this movie, it's just fucking literal batshit insanity.
Yeah,
feeding the skin to the guard dog, and just everything was. Where does this one lie for you, Todd?
As Kruger mentioned earlier, I recommended
90s.
it too. Yeah, I know. You have the 90s, you have horror killing, porn stars. I mean, come on. What's there not to love in this one? Yeah. It is. I mean, it's everything. You guys nailed that. Is he a little bit more humorous than a slasher? I mean, no, yes. I mean, it's weird because he's a human.
Kind of like Freddy.
Yeah. But he's like just a normal guy.
The weirdness works for it.
It does.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a
definite school shooter. I would be nice to him.
There's a little bit of uncomfortableness to him, so it works with the humor. But yeah, this is, I agree with Kruger, one of the best ones out of the 90s.
Awesome. Yeah. All right. I guess we can go ahead and rate it. What say you, Kruger?
I really wanted to give it a 5, but I think it's a little bit under a 5. It's a 4.5 out of 5 for me. But I fucking love it, and I highly recommend it. If you're a Ted Raimi fan, double this up with Intruder, and I think you'll have a good night.
There you go. As much as I love it, I'm giving it a 3.5. It is inept in a lot of ways that work for it, but it's entertaining as hell. I love it. So 3.5.
All right. I'm gonna be fair because there's very little stopping me from giving this a 5, but I'm gonna go 4.5. It's a strong 4.5. With you have to fucking revisit this or watch it for the first time. Especially if you're like an Ed Gein fan.
Oh yeah.
I'm with you two gentlemen. I'm a 4.5 also. We're checking out.
Fuck, I want to give it a 5 so bad.
I know,
like there's some parts that are just have a bit of a lull.
I think it's just the end. For me, it's the ending. I think if it would have ended a little bit stronger and we wouldn't have knew what happened, then I would have been able to give it a 5. But still, goddamn fun ass movie. I mean, holy shit! And just Scream, like I said, total product of its time. And if you're into like movies that just scream 90s, you got to see this one.
And speaking of Scream, pre-Scream, so it's before the switch.
Yes.
In tone of slashers.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, it's a time when you certainly didn't get a lot of this. So
no.
So yeah, glad to see this on Blu-ray. There's more from that era that I'd like to see on Blu-ray.
Yep.
All right, so moving on to our next film, which comes from 1987 and director Jose Ramon Larraz, and that is Edge of the Axe. The rural community of Paddock County is being rocked by the crazed exploits of an axe-wielding psychopath who stalks the night in a black trench coat and mask. As the victims pile up, the authorities attempt to keep a lid on the situation, whilst computer whiz kid Gerald and his girlfriend Lillian seek to unmask the killer before the town's population reaches 0. All right, Edge of the Axe. Kruger, what did you think of Edge of the Axe?
So this was a first-time watch for me. I've actually had this Blu-ray sitting on my shelf for fucking like a year, I think. I just haven't got around to watching it. So I was really excited to finally pop it in. And man, I like this one a fucking lot. I mean, this is another movie that's a total product of, the late 80s, which was great. I thought the characters, they're in many ways very much your typical slasher characters, but some of them just have such a real charm to them. And I actually really like, the main guy that we follow, the computer whiz dude, and the whole relationship he has going on with this new girl he meets, and his friend too, like the way him and his friend would, fucking just have sleazy banter to each other. That was a lot of fun. The whole prosthetic leg gag when he's, like he's got a peg leg or some shit, and just to cockblock his buddy. That was just a fun little moment. And I also, like I said, dug the dialogue. It was really funny and had me laughing quite a bit. The killer in this was also pretty goddamn cool. I like the look of him, with the black gloves and the trench coat and, the white mask that, it kind of looks like a bald Michael Myers with no mouth. But I thought it was super cool. Yeah.
7.
And I thought it was super cool, like, especially when the little blood splatter got on the mask. It looked great on the white. Really menacing looking killer. And pretty brutal too. So as far as the story goes, the opening scene with the car wash, I mean, holy shit, what a way to get my attention quick, and had me really excited to see everything unfold. And from there, us learning about the small town and all its characters, and then the slasher elements come into play, and we almost get like a little whodunit portion of the film as well, which I liked. And with the slasher stuff, we got some really fun chase and stalk sequences with the killer, and I just found it entertaining as hell. Also, the final act is strong as fuck. I love the twist we got, and it just worked really well for me, and I didn't see it coming, especially with that final shot that we end on. Oh, so good. Last but not least, though, the kills I thought were really good. We got a lot of brutal axe hacking, and there was some off-screen stuff, but for what we didn't see, we would see some mutilated corpses later for the aftermath gore, and all of that I thought looked really good. The effects guy is actually kind of a legend. He's worked on stuff like Conan and so many other movies, so this had a pretty good team behind it. So overall, I love this one. I think it's a classic that definitely needs to be talked about more. And after this first time viewing, I'm glad I blind bought it, and I'm going to be watching it a lot more. I highly recommend the Arrow Video Blu-ray. It has some really good special features on there. So yeah, check this out if you're a diehard slasher fan. It's a lot of fucking fun. I had never heard about it, and it's a Spanish slasher, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, he had one the following year also. Deadly Manor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Also from Arrow too.
We'll have to check that out.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Spanish horror in general, and this director, certainly not known for slasher movies. In fact, this is not his probably his least favorite movie. But man, Jose Ramon Larraz, Vampires, Symptoms, Black Candles. I mean, this guy is an icon. He's done such fantastic work in the genre, and his name is not as known as it should be. There is a good box set with some of his best stuff out there on Blu-ray right now.
Also from Arrow? No. Was that one Severin?
Oh fuck, I
should know.
It
had vampires.
Arrow,
it is because the vampires is from Arrow.
Yeah, and Vampires is excellent.
Yeah, my favorite film of his.
Have you seen Black Candles, Todd?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a great one too. Symptoms is fantastic. But anyways, yeah. So I'm a big fan of this director. Obviously, this is a different kind of film from the waning days of the slasher, and I do like it. I do enjoy this one. There's a lot of like the opening kill is pretty cool. The logistics of pulling that off are a little, you got to suspend your disbelief a little bit. I have fun with this one. This always was one I saw a little bit later. It was a little harder to get a hold of, I remember. And I remember thinking even back then, I was like, oh, the reputation of it being really shitty is not fair, because I actually think it's pretty entertaining. Yeah. And we get Eurocult icon Jack Taylor, who all those great Jess Franco films that he was in. Most of this is shot in Spain, and I know they shot a little bit in California, but
Northern California.
Yeah, it has a unique feel to it, and I really liked it. I remember the twist the twist I thought worked well. It was fairly surprising. We get a sequel tease that obviously never happened, but all in all, I enjoyed. Is it one of his best films? No, but I'm a huge fan of him, and he's never really let me down in terms of entertainment value. But do yourself a favor, if you've only watched Edge of the Axe or Deadly Manor, check out Vampires, check out Symptoms. I mean, he's done so much. What did you think of Edge of the Axe, Pugs?
I don't like it as much as you guys. I think it's just pretty average. I love the way the killer looks, the white face. I'm always gonna love a white face killer. Michael, Ghostface. Clearly, that shit rules. I just don't think they did enough to keep me engaged. I liked hanging out with the two dudes when they were friends, or just like friends and stuff. But like once the stuff started going down, I just was not engaged. I don't know what it is, because like everything on screen looks nice. The characters are fine. It's just something did not grab me, and I just think it's average.
No, that's cool. Todd.
I think I'm kind of in the middle of you guys, because like I do enjoy it, but he has better films. I don't know if that's because it's in the back of my head. Yeah, but I do still have fun with it. I don't think I'm in love with it as much as you two. But I do like it, and I do go back and visit it, so that says something. My first version was a really shitty bootleg, so finally seeing this version was awesome. I do like it. This is the second time I've watched it since I've owned the Blu-ray, so I do like it enough. I do think it's worth checking out, but I also, with the asterisk, check out his other film stuff too, which isn't really slasher other than Deadly Manor. But
no, he's not a slasher director for sure. But yeah, I guess we can go ahead and rate it. What say you, Kruger?
I'm pretty high on this one. I'm actually a 4 out of 5.
I thought you were going to stop it pretty high. I was like, right on. I'll go. I'm a 2.5. I just think it's average, and I would say, I'll just leave that 2.5.
I'm above average. I'm a 3. So, well, I mean, yeah, it's more than about. Yeah, I do like it, but it's
yeah, I'm a 3. It's very entertaining, and it's better than a lot of the slashers of this era. Not a classic by any means, but it entertains me. What can I say?
Yeah.
All right.
Time for Dan to hit the knees.
All right. So our next film from 1982, and director Amy Holden Jones, and of course iconic producer Roger Corman, Slumber Party Massacre. So when Trish decides to invite her high school basketball teammates over for a slumber party, she has no idea the night's going to end with an unexpected guest crashing the party, an escaped mental patient and his portable power drill in the cult classic Slumber Party Massacre.
Rush.
All right. So I don't think there's going to be a big surprise for me. So
I said hit the knees.
Kruger, what did you think of Slumber Party Massacre? Was this the first time too? Or?
No, I had found this one a few years ago and liked it a lot. Actually surprised the shit out of me. And love the soundtrack for this. Sets the tone great. The movie, another one, product of its time. All the way down to like the dialogue and the one-liners were great too. One of my favorites was exactly where your mind went, Pugs. As the famous Jim Jones once said, "Shut up and drink your Kool-Aid." That was awesome. The characters were decent. For me, I didn't particularly love anybody. So this is more of a case of me wanting to, see people get picked off by a killer. But most of the victims were nice to look at, so there's that. And speaking of our killer, I actually really liked him a lot. He just was like a creepy looking motherfucker with his bloodshot eyes, and he looked fucking deranged and weird as hell, and didn't have much to him, but still kind of was iconic in his own way. And of course, the power drill as a weapon of choice, great touch. I mean, and that's kind of what makes him iconic. The story I thought was really well paced. It doesn't take long for us, to get into the action stuff, and the sleaziness we got along the way while watching the slumber party, unfold was pretty entertaining. The killer come into play, watching all the kills, happen. Nothing like too gory until towards the end of the movie, but there is some gore. But a lot of the kills are off screen. But despite that, just like with Edge of the Axe, we got aftermath gore, so that was great. And we got like a pretty high body count actually. So that's one thing that I didn't really notice in my other viewings, and notice this time. Like, there's a lot of deaths in this movie, so that's going to be strong for a lot of people. I also thought the final confrontation between the killer and the final girls, I mean, fucking what a great way to end it. I mean, and I liked how abruptly it ended, because we got to finish to the story, and then boom, we're off. And I'm also a fan of the sequel. So overall, love this one. I don't think it's perfect, but it's one I continue to revisit as years go by, and I recommend it for diehard slasher fans. I really had never heard about it until a few years ago, so when Scream Factory came out with the Blu-ray. So if you haven't watched it, check it out. It's must see.
Before Dan goes, I'm going to jump in because, like I said,
Go for it.
It's going to be very fellatio-filled review.
I'll go last.
I forget how much I like this until I watch it, because the sequel is one that everyone, like, if you've seen it, you don't forget the sequel. Totally different. I mean, and the third one, well, we'll just talk about the first one. I think I enjoy it because they kill off Brink really quick, so that's a positive to me. Because I'm not a fan. She's all right.
Oh, fuck you, Todd.
See, triggered.
She is a goddess.
I've said this before, Dan. I know it's your favorite, but I don't get it. I know she's a lot of
better than Linnea.
I don't hit the knees for Linnea either, but I prefer Linnea over Brink. But I guess some people would get triggered like you were. I do really like this movie. The denim killer is pretty cool.
Canadian tuxedo.
Right. It's got good aftermath kill stuff. I mean, I do like the group of girls, and I think that it's kind of like you're hanging out with them and then, getting picked off. It's an easy formula. The fact that it was directed by a woman is even cooler because
feminist writer too.
Yeah.
So, she knows.
Well, Corman told her how to do it. Come on, we know Corman gets what he wants. Yeah. Now, that sounded a little rapey. That's not what I meant.
He's good at negotiating. How about that?
Yeah. So, all right. I enjoy this movie better than I remember. Like I said, it's when I forget how much I enjoy till I rewatch it.
Yeah.
So now
I do the same thing. I haven't got, but I do the same thing because I'm like, I know I like that movie, but as I was watching this time, I was like, oh, that's right. I really fucking like this movie. You got fucking cool aftermath kills. You got pretty girls, even the dark one. Nice cleavage. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not blind. Yeah, and the Valerie and her sister, fucking hilarious. Their relationship with the fucking playgirl and stuff. I was dying. Yeah, I always forget how much I enjoy this. I should revisit it more often, but I like it a lot. The only thing that keeps me from loving it, probably as much as Dan, is there's no mask or anything. You're just wearing a fucking Canadian tuxedo. You're crazy. You look cool, but I'm like, if you just give me a white face and I'm cool. But yeah, I like this one a lot.
Or a black face.
I think you would have been losing a little something because Russ Thorne is a very good killer. The actor Michael Valella is fantastic. So I don't know. I mean, I don't always need a mask.
I don't need one, but I think that would have upped it a little bit. You don't have to keep it on the entire time. You just do one of these. I don't know. Something's missing.
What saves it for me is the bloodshot eyes and the crazed look.
Oh yeah, he's an excellent actor and very method. Also on set, so he stayed away from everybody and left them uncomfortable, which is good.
He's at catering. Just
Yeah, he did it. Yeah, catering.
That's
Wouldn't meet with
awesome.
anybody. And I will say the director, Amy Holden Jones, turned down an editing job on E.T. to do this. And I think it was
wow.
maybe not the best career move, but it was the best move for horror fans.
God bless her.
I fucking love this movie. I always have. This movie is just I think actually all the characters are likable for me. I thought the sister, Courtney, very likable. Everybody in this movie. It delivers everything. Beautiful girls, great
Except
suspense, killers. Brink Stevens, the most beautiful woman in the world. I mean, that opening shower scene, iconic. I love everything about this. I think it's
plug it up. You know what? Go ahead.
Yeah. There's only one iconic shower scene, Dan. So
oh no, I would put this above that one.
No.
But
hold on.
Dan's about to get muted.
Are you fucking serious? I mean, if it's your honest answer, by all means. But like
for different reasons,
okay.
It is my favorite shower scene.
Dan jerk off reasons.
No. There's a difference between my favorite and the better shower scene. There's a total difference.
All right, well, fair enough. This movie is, to me, perfect. It's one of my favorites of the golden era of slashers. I just have such a good time. There are some, I'll be honest, sometimes I'll revisit some of these slashers and it's like, not what I remembered. It doesn't hold up. This one still holds up perfectly. I don't know how...
Even if it didn't, Dan, though, your nostalgia glasses are so thick, you're still going to hit the knees.
Oh, I love it. Hey,
no, I know that, but I'm saying that's part of it. Even if
I think this will play fairly well, especially once we get this Norman Reedus reboot of Slumber Party Massacre that they're talking about.
What?
Yeah, that's apparently he's got a producer.
He's going to be Russ.
Is it Sean Clark?
No. I think he's just producing.
Yeah, isn't it going straight to sci-fi? Pretty sure.
That's what I heard last time. So I'm sure you show this to people who've never seen it after watching the Sci-Fi Channel version, and they'll see the difference too. But hey, fingers crossed. But yeah, I'm nervous to say the least. Yeah, everything about it, great killer. Everything you could possibly want in a slasher movie is in this film. I laughed. I thought the suspense was there. I thought that everything. Multiple times. I love it.
Kool-Aid.
I love it. I'm not even gonna tease it. For me, it's a 5.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Perfect.
Well, I don't love it as much as you do, Dan. I'm a 4 out of 5.
Cool.
I am a 4.5 out of 5. I think it's great.
I am a big fat 0. No. I should do that for one reason. But
Brink is a 10, by the way, if we're doing that separately.
And it just got deducted a half point.
I know now it's negative. No. I'm a 3.5. I do really enjoy this one.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I go back and forth between 3. You know what? I give it a 4.
Yeah, see, for me, when I first watched it, I was like, I was just shocked because I just thought it was just going to be some cheap, sleazy piece of shit.
But we like cheap, sleazy. Pieces
but you know what I mean, with no kills and shit killer. I mean, we've seen that time and time again. So I was happy when I first watched it. And yeah, it still holds up. But the sequel, I do like probably as much as this one.
Cheap, sleazy piece of shit was in my high school yearbook. So cool. I'll embrace it. All right. So there we go.
Well,
those are the reviews. Now,
So now we have to eliminate one of the 4 films we have reviewed tonight, and then that list will go up against the next slasher. So I don't know about you guys.
Real quick, just before we do that, just so everyone knows, up for elimination is Just Before Dawn, Skinner, Edge of the Axe, and Slumber Party Massacre, and one's got to go. So Kruger's having a hard time already.
Yeah, this sucks honestly because like I love
So much
all
choice.
these so fucking much. Skinner is definitely not getting eliminated. Fucking hell. I really like Just Before Dawn, but I think that may be the one I would eliminate.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
I'll go
Just-
next. Edge of the Axe is getting the axe for me.
Fuck.
All right. Dan,
Edge of the Axe for me's got to go.
son of a bitch. I was Just Before Dawn.
Ooh.
Honestly, I don't care which one of those
I
stays
can go either
because
way too.
as long as Skinner and Slumber Party
Alright,
make it,
but-
I'm easy going.
But
know-
but we gotta do what we do.
Oh,
when
which
it comes
killer would
down
take
to
out the
this.
other one?
Yeah, so the killer from the Edge of the Axe, which a little bit spoilerly, so let's dance around this. But
Yeah.
the killer, I think, would totally get fucked up by
Yeah.
just before dawn, fucking big ass mutant, fucking hill people. So I would go definitely with just before dawn beating it out. So Edge of the Axe, I think is probably fair. What do you guys think?
Yeah, and it makes sense if you've actually watched all these movies. Yeah, the Just Before Dawn
Yeah. Okay.
killer would. Yeah. I don't
So
think you could
there we
argue.
go. We made our final decision.
So Edge of the Axe is axed. Gets the
It
axe.
is.
Yeah,
So-
but I still love it, and fucking, I think it's definitely one to check out. It's just this is a fucking pretty stacked. At least for me, this was a stacked first fucking episode.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad I saw all of them.
Yeah.
Again, Skinner's
Yes.
gonna go into regular rotation. Like, I can't believe I let
Let's
that
see.
go.
Let's see how long it goes.
Yeah, I think I don't think Skinner's going anywhere anytime soon. So our final list: Skinner, Slumber Party Massacre, and Just Before Dawn. So next up, that will be the list to beat out, and we'll see if any of those get eliminated. So spoilers.
All right, Dan, before we hit spoilers, you want to give the normal spiel?
Yes. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, comment, obviously, to help the channel grow. Also, patreon.com/fleshwoundfeatures. And on there, we have some exclusive content, some stuff you won't be able to see anywhere else. So check that out. Lots of new stuff up there. Also, fleshwoundfeatures.com, linked to our Teespring store. We are Flesh Wound Radio on Twitter, so follow us there. Also, we are Horror Cartel Flesh Wound Radio group on Facebook, so join that. And yeah, and stay tuned for more awesome SLASHTOBER and Halloween content here on the channel, because we are going to see us every day in October. And with that being said, we're going to talk some spoilers now. So if you haven't seen the movies, you may want to bow out.
All right, spoiler time.
All
All
right.
right.
Let's do Just Before Dawn first, since it just beat out Edge of the Axe. So for me, I thought that first kill where the dude got the machete through his dick out his ass crack, I mean, holy fucking shit. That shocked the hell out of me, and I was like, all right, I'm ready to party. That's why it was a little bit disappointing that it wasn't that gory, because that was just such a crazy first kill. Also, I thought the way that Daniel dude got killed off, just really quick, and you saw that hillbilly just running at him, and then boom, machete straight to the gut in the graveyard. That was great. Also, just man, the fucking final girl, the way she kills the mutant twin by literally fucking punching her goddamn fist into his throat and choking him to death. I thought that was fucking badass as hell.
Minute.
I mean that needs to be that needs to be a Cannibal Corpse fucking song, like choke on my fist or some shit. Like, Jesus Christ. I just thought that was awesome. I mean, it was a little cheap looking, like you could see the arm bending and shit, obviously. But it worked for me, and I love this fucking damn movie a lot.
I'll take a fake arm bending any day over shitty CGI.
Yeah. Well, and fun fact about this movie, it's like that slasher that we reviewed. I think it was from Poland last year, called "Don't Sleep in the Woods Tonight."
Yeah.
That is like
controversial.
That is a total homage to this film. I mean, with the twins, especially, being mutated and shit like that. So I thought that was cool to see where that came from. I still love that movie though too.
Speaking of which, because are you talking about Pugs? How Dan believes everything he reads on the internet. So,
oh yeah. So.
Sorry. Did you have more from just?
No. I was going to do what you were about to do. Does anybody else have any more for Just Before Dawn?
No, I really like it though. It's a good film.
All right, so let's move to Edge of the Axe, R.I.P. So like the opening scene where we see the psychiatric nurse going through the car wash, and then the shadowy figure walks across the screen. Then sure as shit, you see the killer, with his mask, and he starts hacking into the windshield, and then the blood splatters on the I just thought that was such a great kill, and it's the most memorable scene in the movie for me.
Absolutely.
I also dug the chick that they find in the food shack where her face is all eaten away by rats and shit. That was fucking awesome. The whole scene where like. This was the one scene that actually had me laugh my ass off. The biker dude and the one chick, he brings her back to his place, and she asks the computer if he's gay right before she kisses him. I just thought that scene was fucking hilarious. And just the rest of the movie had just a bunch of like really nice hackings, and I really like the chase scenes we got with the killer. That one chick scene, the blood dripping from her ceiling, and then she goes upstairs, finds her dead dog, and the killer goes and hacks up her hacks her fingers off, and then just beats the shit out of her with the axe. I mean, I thought it had some really solid kills, and really dug this one a lot.
Right on.
Awesome.
I got no spoilers for that one.
What about Skinner? I mean, we already referenced it. Probably
the ending's really the only thing to talk about, right?
Well, yeah. That's maybe the ending, and just I thought like the whole. I don't know. I really like the effect that was on Traci Lord's character, with the fucking, the burn and. Or not burn, but the skin graft.
It looked more like a burn in a way.
Yeah, I think it was supposed to be a skin graft, but I got what they were going for. I thought it was cool, like how the big reveal with her hair falling off at the end, and you see that she's all bald and shit. I really like that a lot. But yeah, other than that, I don't really got any more on that. What about the Slumber Party Massacre?
I don't really have anything to spoil on it. It's it's just a fantastic movie.
I just think my favorite kill in the movie is probably the end, just where all the girls basically just stabbed the shit out of him.
Yeah,
they cut off his fucking hand, and then
finale.
Yeah, and then he finally, he comes back for the one last scare and leaps right into the machete. I mean, that was fucking awesome. So, really big fan of that ending scene, especially. That's what sets it above a normal just 3.5 for me.
Yeah.
All right. I guess that's all we have for spoilers.
Yep.
So, well, another October, another Slashtober.
Yep.
So
one down, one episode down, 12 more to go.
Yep. So
yes.
I don't got anything else to add. I think we can get out of here till the next episode.
All right, guys, we hope you're enjoying your Halloween season. We got a lot of awesome stuff coming, and Iris loves you. Good night.
Todd.
Dan threw me off completely.
He did his thing.
I know. Fuck you, Dan.
There we go. Kruger?
Stay sick, motherfuckers.
I'll see you in Disneyland.